Well, g'day everyone and welcome. I've been trying to think of a game that I really want to play as a series alongside of Out of Awe, and I've been really struggling. There's so many games that I'd absolutely love to play, but then there's also so many games that I'm pretty sure that a lot of my community wouldn't want to see. So I've opted for Captain of Industry because I really enjoyed this game. They've had Update 3 come out, which is trains, space, and asteroids. So you can actually run trains in it and stuff like that now. So I thought what we might do is, for those of you that don't know what Captain of Industry is, it's kind of a city building slash automation slash production kind of a game. And I think it does, personally, I think that it does um, it does it better than any other game that I've played that's very similar in many ways. So let's get stuck straight into a new game. We're going to set up a new game on this, and I'm thinking because it's trains, then I think we might use this map here because it's nice and long and we can run trains right through the full length of that eventually later on in the series. We've got different areas to start. So for example, we've got starting location 1, which is easy. We've got starting location 3, which is insane difficulty, and starting location 2, which is a hard difficulty. I'm still, even though I'm sort of 45 hours into the game, I'm still pretty bloody. I'm a bit of a noob with this game, and it is a very difficult game to play. So, what we're going to do is we're going to start in this position here, which should be good. Now, I'm just going to go captain which is the default, the medium. I'm not going to go Admiral. I'm nowhere near as good as that. We're going to make sure that ore sorting is done. Machines other stop working when broken. Belts and storage units require power to function. Yes, we're going to go that. People die from starvation, and vehicles can't move without fuel. Ships can't move without fuel, and all that type of stuff as well. So we will go with all of that, which is really good. In the next one, we will name our game, and obviously, for those of you that have been in the channel for a very long time, you do know that I am going to call my town Vegemite. Yes, Vegemite really does need to come and sponsor my channel. Just saying. Game Seed is right here. If you guys want to play the same map, if you are playing this game, GIIU8TUX462I, in case you guys want to play along. Let's launch the game. All right, so I'm looking pretty forward to this and pretty excited. I did stream it, I think a couple of weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago or something. So I'm looking very forward to playing and to getting this out there. So again, it is a very it's very easy to overbuild and get too excited about things and just basically come unstuck. Just all of a sudden, everything's going really well, and bang. So yeah. Let's see what we can do. All right, here we are in the game now. I think I did suffer some a little bit of let me pause for starters. I think I did suffer a couple of little stutters in there while the game was firing up, so it does take quite a chunk of resources out, but it seems like I'm getting my 60, so it should be rendering. I apologize if I have cut anything out there because of the rendering and stuff. So here we go. The first thing that we want to look at is our layers, and we want to have a look at where everything is. So we've got iron ore over here. We've got sand over here, and these are all the resources that we're going to use. I believe that's coal over there, which is going to become a very important resource. We've got limestone over here. No, copper over here, sorry. We've got water, oils there. We've got a little bit of oil here, and we've got some water over here as well, and some limestone there. That's where our limestone is. So because we started on easy, then we've got like a lot of the resources around us. One of the other places to start was over on this island here, where there is oil, there is copper, and what's that one there? I think that's titanium. Oh, look, I mean, we could have started over here as well because there's water over here. So that would have been really, really interesting. But then we would have had to get across here as well. And then this is the rest of the map. And we're going to need to rely on all of these resources as we move forward through this series, which is really, 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 really important. Now, this is your dock basically, and you've landed here. You've got a little container shanty over here, which is where your people live. Over here we have ourselves a food market, which we need to provide food for. At this point in time, we do have potatoes in stock, which came with us on the ship. We've got our ship here, but we can't utilize our ship. There is a world map, and oh no, let's just continue with that. Whereabouts is the map? It's there. And there is a map here, and this map is actually quite large. And once you start being able to fuel your ship up, you can actually travel to some of these areas. Now, we already know that this place exists, which is a settlement here, which we have a reputation with. And we can actually trade with them as we go through. And then there's all these areas to explore as we go. What you've got to be really careful of is there's also kind of enemy ships and stuff there. And you can upgrade your ship until it becomes sort of battleshipy. And when it gets into fights and stuff, you can have guns on it and all that type of stuff. But we're miles away from that because this dock here needs to be repaired. As you can see, everything's sort of a bit bent and broken. The tanks are all thing, and we need to be able to repair that before we can even start undocking our ship. Over on the right hand side here we have a copy of all of the resources that we have, which are all resources that are basically on board our ship, and any that is zero we obviously don't have. These guys here, these are basically the lifeblood of the entire game. These are the trucks that transport stuff. We've got a little tree harvester here. And you start off with a certain amount of fuel. As you can see, we've got 440 fuel over here, which is absolutely fantastic, but it's not going to take long before we need to produce our own fuel. But for starters, we should be okay. So the first thing that we want to do, and it does give you a really good goals, like a really good goal sort of thing to work towards, which actually helps you through. And when you achieve these goals that are up in the top left hand corner here, then you do get rewards for them, and the rewards will be more resources, which sort of help you through the initial stages. And as I said, it is very, very, very easy in this game to actually fail miserably. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to set up and designate an area for trees to be harvested. And I'm going to set up this area here. And I'm going to let them harvest all of that because we are going to build our town around this area here. We can't build it too close to here because pollution does eventually become a problem. And this is where we're going to be probably producing bricks at some point in time, which aren't on this list because we haven't researched them yet. So that will be the first thing. This next thing that we're going to do is we're going to put a coal maker down here because coal is going to be super, super, super important moving forward. Now we will eventually start taking the coal out of here. But I think our priorities initially, following through this, will be harvest trees, build a blast furnace and a metal caster and a smokestack, and then we're going to start basically probably mining iron ore. And then I reckon the next thing we'll probably do is there, but that's a little bit later on in the game. So let's unpause that, and this guy here, let's assign 2 trucks to him. Now those 2 trucks will they'll be assigned to there. This truck's automatically gathering resources off of the boat to build our coal maker. Which is where we're going to get stuff to operate our plants and stuff initially. So there we go. The tree harvester is starting over here. So I was kind of hoping that they would start over here, and I probably could move him manually over to there, but I'm not going to at this point in time. Now the game is relatively silent, guys, but when we get close, you probably can't hear that, but you can actually hear this running and moving. So, but I don't think this is the kind of game that you really need to have those sounds up and running for. We need to produce 8 coal, so the trucks are going to come over here. They're going to dump timber into here. They're going to produce coal, and they do have an exhaust, and we do need to build ourselves an exhaust, which I believe is here. So a smokestack right there to be able to produce stuff, so correctly anyway. All right, we'll go into what all of these are and how they all work as we move further through the system. Next thing that we're going to do is we need to do a blast furnace and connect it to a metal caster, and our blast furnace is right here, and our metal casters are here. Now I know, because I've played this game, that this is going to basically be a blast furnace is basically going to set us up for casting metal. So what we want to do is iron ore and coal into the end there, and once it goes into the end, it gets processed. So we're going to put that there. We're going to put 2 metal casters in, and I'm going to put, you can flip by hitting F. So I'm going to put 1 in there, and then I'm going to put another one over here. I'm going to hit F to flip it, and we'll sit that there, and then they should be okay. The other thing that we're going to need, and there are a lot more conveyors and stuff, but we have to unlock them on via research, but we are going to need a molten channel here to carry our molten steel basically across to if we can get this truck out of the way, because sometimes it's go from there to there, and we'll connect from there to there, and that's going to produce our iron ore at some point. We also need to put a smokestack in there. Okay, so beautiful. We've connected the blast furnace to a metal caster, and a smokestack is going up right now. We need to produce iron. Now in here we can set recipes. So if you set recipes, you can see at this point in time all we can take is iron scrap. Where are we getting iron scrap from? That's a good question. This here is holding iron scrap, and it's also holding some concrete slabs. Concrete slabs are what we're going to eventually produce from our limestone over there, which is going to require a few different things. So what's going to happen is all the spare trucks are going to go out, and they're going to collect metal scrap. They're going to take them over here, and we are going to start producing. Once all of these have been built, we're actually going to start producing, there you go, molten iron, and we'll do some iron plates, and this will produce iron plates, and the animations in this are really, really good. I'm going to have a sip of coffee and watch what happens. I've had a sip of coffee. There's another truck coming in. It's dumping, so we'll get a little bit more, and they'll keep doing that, and what we need to do is produce 16 iron to finish this. Next thing that it wants to do is we've got food. Food are in the form of potatoes. What you don't want to do in this game is have stuff in the red here, as you can see. What you really need to do is have stuff in the grey like that so that you know that you're producing enough of them. So we're going to need to build, and you can see our iron production there. So we can collect that reward and we get fuel, we get construction parts, and we get maintenance parts. So collect that reward. We also need to build a farm on fertile ground. Fertile ground is grass. So we've got some good grass over here. Got some good grass over here, but I know that I'm going to build a mine out there somewhere. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into food production and farm, and I'm going to throw this guy in here. So let's maybe, where am I going to throw him? Probably over here somewhere, I reckon. I might flip him and then rotate him. And he'll fit right there. Actually, I could probably bring him back to the coast a little bit as well. So I'm going to throw him in right there. And we'll build that farm. That farm will start producing potatoes, which means that we should be able to, at this point in time, get this into hopefully the grey. And we'll see how we go now. The rain does water crops. So crops do have a watering level and a soil moisture. And they also have a soil fertility. So that's something that later on, research-wise, we need to start considering. The other thing that we need to consider is electricity. And things require electricity to run. So what it's going to want us to do is to build ourselves a diesel generator. So we'll go into power. We'll go into diesel generator. Now, I like to throw my diesel generators in here. I'm going to flip that, and I'm going to throw my first diesel generator in here, like that. And then later on when we need another one, and then what we can do is once this is all fixed up, we can connect all of these pipes to something that's producing fuel, hopefully. That's my plan anyway. All right, cool. So potatoes are growing. We've got some soil moisture in there. We've got some soil fertility. We will at some point unlock, in our research, we will unlock irrigated fields and stuff, which means that if we do have some sort of drought or a whole pile of really bad weather, like really hot weather, then we'll be able to, we'll basically be able to irrigate our fields regardless. Okay, which are things that we're going to unlock. I am drinking a cup of coffee as I go. Build a basic research lab. A research lab is something that's actually quite important because this is where we manage to unlock a whole pile of stuff. That's our message center. Where is our research lab? Housing and services? No. In buildings, that's where it is. And what I'm going to do... I tend to have a habit of doing the same thing all the time, and that's, I'm going to build that right there. And that can be the research lab. Now, at any time we can move these buildings. It's just to move them, they need to be deconstructed and then reconstructed as well. So that's why I'm trying to sort of lay it out a little bit. One of those other things that I love, and there's quite a few games that do this now, is the fact that, you know, where these trucks are driving most of the time, then they're actually creating themselves a little bit of, you know, they're taking some of the grass off and they're creating some tracks and stuff like that. So these guys are continually bringing stuff over to here, and we're continually producing iron plates, which is really, really good. Next one is to build a waste collection and attach it to the settlement. That is in housing and services. There's a waste collection there. We are eventually, we're not going to probably come out this way, I don't think. We're probably going to go out that way and out this way. And I don't think at this point we're going to go through there, but we're definitely not going to come out this way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up the waste collection right there. So they will build that, and that will collect waste. They'll collect all the rubbish and stuff from the town. As you can see, if we click on the town there, you can see that there is 30 waste in the settlement that we need to get. Now, towns obviously require things like vitamins, protein, treats, carbs. These are things that we will work through as we unlock more technology. We've got 90 of 160 people living in there, which you also get up the top here. We've got total population of 90. We've got a housing capacity of 160. We currently have 48 workers available, and we've got 70 houses free. So it's really important to make sure that we keep our eye on that. We can bring other settlers in. We have collected our first amount of potatoes. As you can see, they're coming up there, and they're going into the store here, the food market, which is part of it. And we will move this food market over here. And you can see we've got 57 months worth of food available for everybody, which is really good. And our food has come up to the grey. So believe me, it won't be this good forever. All right, we've got our diesel generator down here, which has been built. Food production, we can collect our reward for that. We get 40 potato and we get 20 construction parts, which are pretty important. We need to research construction now that our construction lab is here. We've got 6 people currently assigned to work in here. We need to start research, and we need to research construction, which is right there. We've got basic farming, we've got settlement waste, we've got pipes, we've got electricity, and we've got iron smelting from scrap. So let's add that and start that as research, which will be really, really good. And then they'll start researching away with that. So there you go. Beautiful. All right, that's the next step. The other thing that we want to do is designate a dumping zone for waste and to dump waste. Now, one of the beauties about this, not only can we, flatten out areas with our excavators and all that stuff and dig out all of this iron ore out of these mountains, we can also actually create little land masses. And how I'm going to do that is I am going to designate we've got some pipe. Yep, cool. I'm going to designate an area, which is, where is it? I can't remember. Right here, terraforming, I think it was. Dumping designation, right? And I'm going to designate a dumping area. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it like this. Now, the reason why I'm going to do it like that is because that, at some point in time, they'll be dumping all of the waste in here. And that will create basically artificial land. Artificial land is fantastic because it allows you you need to be able to put your docks in sort of straightish areas of land and stuff, which is going to be fantastic. Eventually I'll level a section out here, and we'll go out here as well. We'll create a piece of land out here, and we'll dump everything out there as well. But for now, you'll see that these guys will come in and they'll actually start dumping waste. And to get through this challenge of waste dumping, I know that I've put it a fair way away, but I've put it a fair way away for a reason, and that is because I want to put stuff in here. But what you can see is that's starting to come up here, and that'll come out, and that'll slowly, as we produce waste, build out there. Now, that waste can be trash, it can be slag, it can be anything, and it will basically build a and as sort of a bit of artificial land for us. You can see our research is happening here, and we're almost there. Let's collect the reward for that. We get 8 slabs, concrete slabs, and we get 50 construction parts, which is going to help us out considerably. So I'm going to grab that. Research construction we're doing at the moment, and it wants us to research trading dock at any particular time. at any particular time, you can actually stack your research. So you don't necessarily have to click on one, wait until it's finished. We can click on here and we can add that to the queue, and you can see we're currently doing that, and then that's number one in the queue after that. And what I will probably do, I want to do this quickly so it doesn't take long to do tools, and tools offer you like the ability to copy and paste. So for example, if I want to select all of this here, it will allow us to select all of this and copy it and put an exact replica down there, which is pretty good once you sort of start setting stuff up. Now, we don't have, I believe, much storage at this particular point in time. So where was our storage? I cannot remember where our storage was, but we will unlock that very, very soon. So we have just gathered some parts. Our generator is now running, and we're producing, we have the capacity. We're consuming 40 kilowatts. The demand is 40 kilowatts. The maximum capacity at this point in time is 800 kilowatts. But if we were to build a second generator, that would double, obviously. And later on, we'll be doing things like solar panels and, our own power generation like that without having to use diesel. So, which is a really good thing. The other thing is you don't need to necessarily click on the research station. There is a point down here, or the hotkey G if you want to go down there, if you want to go in that direction. So we are going to have to move up to vehicles and mining at some point, and then you can see that in there we also have a storage, which is going to be absolutely fantastic. But what we're trying to do is not go too fast, and the reason why I say that is because it is very, very easy to fall apart while you're playing this. Very, very easy to fall apart. Now, it wants us to build an assembly, right? So the assembly is in production, and this is an assembly here. Now, the assembly takes the products that you've made or produced and allows you to produce other parts. So, for example, you can see at the top there, the assembly takes 4.5 steel plates, iron plates, 4.5 logs, and 6 concrete slabs to produce 6. Good on you. To produce 6 construction parts, and it takes 60 seconds per run. So you'll be getting 6 of those every 60 seconds. Then we've got mechanical parts under that, and then we've got electronic parts under that. So what I am going to do is I am going to figure out exactly where I want to set up my production. And I'm trying to think of the future here, and I'm trying to future-proof. I don't want everything too far away, but I do know that we're going to be bringing copper. We're going to be bringing coal and all that type of stuff, and iron into our production and our assembly plants. So now this isn't necessarily the best way to go, but it's probably a lot easier if I just have assembly straight here, right in front of that. But what I want to do is I want to the input is on the right hand side there, and the output's on the other side. So what I want to do is I want to spin that around, and I want to do all my production out here. So I'm going to build myself an assembly plant out here, and hopefully in the future of this series you'll see what I mean. But things can be moved around quite a lot, so which is really, really important. Okay, cool. It wants us to also build a trading dock. We're currently researching tools, and tools are not the tools you're thinking about. Tools are things that we things that we can use in game to make our life a little bit easier. And yes, you do have to you do have to do that. So I think we might throw this guy out here. We need to find a spot where he's got a little bit of water there, and we can use the trading dock. There we go. So I'm going to throw our trading dock in here, which is going to be the next thing that we need to do. we need to produce some construction parts as well. So while they're building that, let's head over to here and let's set this beast up. Let's set the recipe. Here are our construction parts. They require iron, wood, and concrete slabs. Let's sit there and start producing those. And now that will actually start producing them. So we're producing construction parts there. Normally on that little thing there, it shows up what you're producing. So it should have a little icon of construction parts. But maybe as soon as it starts constructing, then it will do that. So we've just had a delivery of iron, and we're waiting on the delivery of wood and other stuff. Now it is going to take a little bit of time because people are traveling so far and stuff like that, but we can sort that out at some point in time anyway. At the moment, it doesn't really matter, and later on we can, things can be automated with belts and all that type of stuff. So we're going to produce construction parts here, and you can see that all we're waiting on is some wood, and as soon as we get some wood, then we are right to go. Now I don't believe, yes, we do have storage buildings now. So what I really want to do is I want to put a storage building down here as well. And I'm going to rotate that around, and this storage building here. No, actually, I'm gonna cancel that. I'm actually going to put this over here, which is a little bit closer. And in this storage building, what I want to do, if I rotate that around, is I want to set that up to store wood. So that's a little bit closer. The other thing that I really want to do is set up a unit storage here and connect this beast to it. And you can see with the little right connection. Now these storage units, they have two inputs, but I only need one input for this. So I'm going to connect that there, and I am going to set that to construction parts, and that will store construction parts. So and now hopefully what will happen is these timber trucks will transport some timber up there once that's built, and also some timber over here to produce coal. We can pause that production at any particular point in time. So that is that. There we go. This is being constructed now. So hopefully, where are we? We're over here. We're still waiting on some wood here, but hopefully now this will store some wood, and this can be a priority 3, I reckon. You can set priorities for everything, and then this one here can be, you can't set priorities for smokestacks. I didn't realize that, but that is fine. So hopefully we'll have a truck deliver some wood, and then once we've delivered wood, then some will go over here and be dropped off. Excuse me, sorry, I'm still getting over. It's been a long process, and I'm still getting over that. So wood is what we are waiting for at the moment. So what we're going to do, I'm just going to grab that, and I'm just going to pause that for a sec. So it'll have that little pause symbol on it. And by pausing that, these trucks should take timber over to here. When they take timber over to there, we should get some other trucks who are coming over here to refuel, by the way, and get construction parts and stuff. But we should find some trucks should come over and actually drop timber off here, and you can see there is a truck there coming over to dump timber here as a priority, which is actually really good. So we should see that symbol there pop up there, and now we know just at a glance that is creating construction parts. As soon as it's done for, we are going to be laughing because we're going to get a little bit of a bonus. All right, purchase concrete slab for iron from the village in the world. So we can click on here and we can trade with a village, which is this one here. And they want us to get concrete slabs for iron plates, which is good. There's no trading money-wise. You can adopt extra population by using your Unity up there, which you develop as you go through the game, but we're not going to do that at the moment. We're going to grab that. We're going to get 20 iron plates. We're going to get 20 concrete slabs for 20 iron plates. So that will do that. We can collect that trading reward and we can collect that construction parts reward as well. This fella here, you can see that stuff is starting to stack up on the outside. It's not full yet. It will stack up completely. But we've got 70 of 200 there, which is really, really good. So hopefully we'll get a little bit of a backlog of wood. Where am I going? Sorry. Apologies about all of that. So we've got 7.5 coal sitting in there anyway, which is good. So these trucks will they're bringing some more timber over. Yep, and we've got 7.5 coal. So when that goes out, we'll actually redo that. Sitting over here, you can see that we have already produced an entire warehouse of construction parts, which is fine because what I will do is throw another storage in there and we will do construction parts in there as well. Now it wants to research maintenance and build another assembly to produce mechanical parts. Let's go into our research for starters and research maintenance, which is right there. And what we will do is it wants another sort of production facility, and it wants us to produce. I think it said, what did it say? I'm going to throw this over here because I am going to separate these production facilities. It wants us to do mechanical parts. So we're going to set the recipe there. Mechanical parts are going to cost iron plates. These are mechanical parts here. And once that is built, that production should get underway. Cool. And I want to get a stock of this stuff. I really want to get a stock of this stuff. You can see that all of that stuff's going through here so that the production facility can put stuff in there. So there you go. I'm going to leave this episode here, guys. But we will continue on with all of this in the next episode. I'm looking really forward to this series. It's going to be a long series. And we're going to try and survive. We're going to try and get to space. We're going to try and, mine asteroids and all of that type of stuff that we can do in the future. So we need to continue to work on that, but it is going to be a little bit of a process. But I think we've made good headway at the moment. We're researching maintenance now. We're going to build another assembly for mechanical parts, which they're actually doing right now. But thank you so much, everybody, for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you haven't. I appreciate it very much. I will speak to you guys next time. Bye for now.